What in the Law podcast is back. I'm Mike Harris. I'm going through a bit of a transition in my career, and I thought it would be an appropriate time to talk a little bit about that, the different types of law that are out there, and some of the stress and pressure that's involved in this business. So, for those of you who've been watching the show, you know I am a criminal defense lawyer. And I am still a criminal defense lawyer. I handle all kinds of traffic, misdemeanors, felonies, and basically any range of criminal offense. However, I am doing something new. I am now representing children as a guardian ad litem and sometimes a counsel for youth in juvenile delinquency and dependency and neglect cases. Now, what does all of that mean? Well, basically, I am court appointed to look out for the best interests of children in cases. Sometimes those cases are juvenile delinquency cases where the children are accused of doing some offense, and sometimes those cases are called dependency and neglect or child welfare cases where the children are basically in need of some sort of services and potentially need to be taken away from their parents because of some sort of harm or danger or something that happened at home. My clients now range literally from 7 days old to 17 years and 10 months in these court-appointed guardian ad litem cases. And they involve learning all kinds of new processes. There's different rules for each type of case, different rules for children who are under 12 years old versus over 12 years old, different rules for trials, different rules for putting parents into programs and trying to get them better versus seeking to terminate their rights. And it's a lot of things to learn. This is an example of why you cannot expect one lawyer to know everything about every type of law. And this really goes with many kinds of businesses. If you want to build a home, you're not going to have the same person know everything about the electricity and the plumbing and the concrete and the wood and the carpeting and so many other things. Law is very complicated, and we've talked about so many different areas of criminal law. There's all kinds of different areas of civil law. There's different rules for divorces and personal injury and employment discrimination. I literally get asked questions about all three of those where people just want to come up and say, hey, I got a question. There's a lot of things involved. And there's also a lot of stress. When you have a case, especially when you are going to court, you are not just worrying about how you perform something and how something is going to turn out for you. It's about someone else. And that is a tremendous amount of pressure. That is especially the case when you are doing criminal defense and there is any possibility of a jail sentence. I often joke when I talk to friends who are doing performing arts about how if you mess something like that up, at least you don't have to worry about someone going to jail. It's not just a joke. The stress, the pressure that is on you every time you go to court, every time you do something in a criminal case is enormous. And it can go similar for other types of law. So if you do have something going on and you need a lawyer or you have questions, don't just take it flippantly and take it seriously. And if you are around someone who is a lawyer, especially someone who is going to court and trying cases, take a moment to appreciate the enormous amount of stress and pressure that person is on all of the time. That does not mean this cannot be a fun and rewarding career, but it is not what you see on TV. It is not easy, and it is not for everyone. So that's just a little bit about what goes on in some of my life and different things in the law field. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from recording some new episodes as I do this transition. If you've been watching the show and you would like to see some more, send me your comments and let me know what you think. And we'll see if we'll do a season 3 for What in the Law podcast.